Snapshots 25W34A and B brought us Data Pack version 84.0 and a Resource Pack version 66.0 with changes to profile components for player heads and more. My name is Slime and this is a guide to all the changes. Let's start with the changes to player heads. The contents of profile components no longer change when a player's skin is resolved. That is, the item would change whenever a download of the skin completed, which could cause issues. This is now changed, so while skins can still resolve, the component no longer changes. And so a player head with a player name as its profile will now keep resolving to that player's latest skin whenever it is loaded. This type of dynamic profile is made by having either a name field with a player name or an ID field with a UUID, but not both. A name can also be specified on the top level. The resulting lookup will only be done in the game client once the item or block loads. You can still resolve a component ahead of time, which means fully filling out the profile details. This gives you a static profile which will never change and keep the same texture forever. Since this is no longer done by setting a dynamic skin, there is now a new command for getting the profile data called fetch profile. This command runs an asynchronous query for the skin data, and when that is done, it gives you two chat links for either copying the profile data into the clipboard or getting a player head pre-filled. One thing to note is that item stacking is based on exact matches, so a dynamic profile component and a static one will not stack, even if they end up resolving to the same skin. And finally, the profile field on skull block entity data now works exactly the same way. In other block data news, the align item to bottom block state introduced in the previous snapshot has been replaced with a block entity data field with the same name. Some command news. The rotate command had started doubling the target entity's motion every time it was run in a recent snapshot, which is fixed in this one. Execute on origin and execute on owner now work properly regardless of which dimension the owner or origin is in. And the error message for forgetting a state value for a block state in a command is now the right way around. In text news, bold and italic styling is now ignored when drawing sprites in text. Some quick data format notes. A bug with how the game parsed MC meta files starting at supported version 15 has been fixed, and the speed value of explosion block particles is now speed rather than speak. And that's it for these versions. The resource pack format has no other changes than the removal of the align items to bottom block state. Thank you for watching. My name is Slime, and I'll see you next time.